Good day, good people. Good day, good day, good day. All right. You already know. It's a fact. It's your boy G Dash Jones. Time for another one of beautiful episodes of Hats Off. Yeah, I know you see it. Oh, man. So, give a few moments for things to join in, Boom. Before we get started, give a few moments. I got my man Fresh on the show today. It's really a double header today. I got my man Fresh on, and I got Shane the Shane on. So got a lot rocking today. What up, Pist? I see you. Yeah. So, I'm gonna do my thing. We're gonna have a great conversation. Junie speaks. What's Gucci? How you feeling? You know what I mean? We in the building. It's a vibe. It's a vibe out here. You know. So I'm gonna have my peoples join in. Let me see. Just waiting for them to get connected to the vibes, and then we gonna talk. My man Fresh, just so y'all know, when he joins, he is actually owns a few different barbershops in Atlanta. Also starting up a barber academy. So I was like, all right, I don't even know how that whole situation worked. That's why I want to get him on here. We could chop that up, see what that's like. And then Shane and Shane, she got songs coming out, music, all types of stuff. So we rocking. All right, brother. Boom. There it is. So we're gonna be popping on in just a moment. All right. For this wonderful episode of Hats Off, there it is.
What up?
Look at you.
I'm just getting home, man. Long work day, but we here. We here. How's it going? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Once again, welcome to this episode of Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. And as you can see, I got my man Fresh. Listen, I know him as Fresh, right? They know you as like you went from the mud to the millions. They don't know you as Fresh when you're making millions. I don't know what they call you when you make millions. What they call you when you make a bread like that?
Will, that's it. That's it, man.
That's it. So, Will, Fresh, Tim, tell me about yourself. Tell the world what you do and where you're from and all that.
All right. So obviously my name is Will Stam. I'm out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Originally from Claymont, Delaware. And I've been out here for about the last 15 years. And I've opened up 3 barbershops. I'm a barber by trade. Opened up 3 barbershops. And my barber school is launching January 1st of 2023. It's been a hell of a ride, man. It's been a lot of fun. Learned a lot. Worked a lot. And I wouldn't take it back for anything. So, I've had a lot of fun over the years for sure.
Oh, how long you been in Atlanta?
Since '07, so we're 15 years. We just hit 15 years in November.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you,
Wait,
man. Thank you.
You've had your shop down there for 15 years?
13.
Woo, okay. I dig it. By the way,
I came out here for 2 years.
I want you to know I did wear this because we brothers in the boys, you feel me? I normally don't even be rocking all loudly like that, because, I be low-key with it. But because I'm talking to you, I had to be loud with the boys on the Hats Off. You feel me?
All right, good deal.
I'm in the bird country.
That's probably the only thing in the world that stresses me out at this point. It's my team, man. That's it. They get on my damn nerves, man. But
don't do that.
It is what it is.
Look, it's positive vibes. We got them birds coming soon. It's positive vibes only. So let me ask you this. So when you came from here and you went down there to cut, what made you even leave to go down there and pursue barbering and any of that?
Well, what made me leave, to be totally honest with you, was warm weather. I went to Atlanta on a visit, and I think it was like September, but it got cold up north. And it was like 85 degrees. And I was like, I can get used to this. Then I came back down like late October when it was cold, and it was 80 degrees again. And then I just looked at the environment I grew up in, and there was just a lot of negativity, right? A lot of opportunities to just mess some shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, you can say, well, we have to teach people how to make better choices, right? But how do you teach a person how to make better choices when they're surrounded by bad options?
Woo!
You know what I mean? So I was like, I have to get away so I don't have anybody. Now, I had a lot of great friends, don't get me wrong, but I had a lot of people who just knew me because I grew up there. And everybody who just knew me was into stuff that I just didn't want a long-term career in. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me remove myself and where I don't know anybody so I can just focus on work. And to be totally honest with you, I would encourage every single person I know to move out of their hometown. And the reason why is just from a focus perspective. When you are by yourself, you can truly lock in. It's hard to lock in when mom is calling for this, cousin is calling for that, your neighbor down the street is calling for this, your sister or your cousin calling for that. It's just like you try to save everybody because you love them, but you don't love yourself enough to say no. And you look up 10 years later and you're like, damn, I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have did that. And then you play catch up and then you 50 and your health start deteriorating from the stress, and then you end up like everybody else. So that's what I would tell anybody, and that's exactly why I just moved. I wanted to just focus and lock in. I always had hella work ethic, but I needed to lock in, and I just don't like the cold.
So, okay, you dropped a couple gems in that moment, but I got to ask this specifically, right? So you said you left because you ain't like the cold, and the benefit of that was the fact that it kind of got you away from all the noise and all the people pulling at you. Mm-hmm. What stopped you from coming back? Because what happens is, like, you know, when I mean coming back to the distraction, because you'll leave, and then when you go on, you miss home, right? You miss the people. You miss the fun. Sometimes it's fun to do bad things. I remember your previous profession, my friend. So, like, you like when how'd you wind up not having to come back to the mess?
You know what? It's so crazy, right? And this may seem a little selfish in saying this, but the reason why I didn't come back is because I didn't want to give people the opportunity to say I told you so.
Woo!
I just didn't. I didn't want to come back and people like, I told you to get homesick. I told you that wasn't the move. I told you you should have stayed here. I was not going to let anybody tell me I told you so. So as strong-willed and as determined as I am, I figured it out. It wasn't without its struggles, but I wasn't going to look nobody in the face and have them say, I told you so. So that's the short answer.
So what was the struggle like? Like, you picked up from Delaware, and I'm gonna be real, where you happen to be, yes, claim I still the trenches, and you was in some trench moments. Mm-hmm. What was it like? Like you picked up, you reestablished somewhere else. How did you do that part? How did you like plant your feet? I know it costs bread.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
So basically, you know, being an entrepreneur as a barber, anybody that I was able to cut their hair, I just made money instantly. So yeah, I literally, for like the first 6 months, I had a mattress and my clothes. That was it. I didn't have no furniture in my house. And I just slept on a mattress. I didn't even talk to nobody. I ain't talk to no girls. I ain't talk to nobody. Because I didn't have confidence in my own self at the time to get it right. And I had to overcome some challenges of building clientele and being in a barbershop in the South where they were like, I'm not letting a white boy cut my hair, which I understood that. It's the culture here. You know what I'm saying? It just what it was 15 years ago. So I had to overcome that barrier, and basically what I did was I just did something dramatic, and I just walked around a college campus downtown, told everybody I was the greatest barber in the world. Nobody in the world was better than me. And if you didn't believe me, you can come get a haircut, and if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. What do you have to lose? And they took me up on that. They was like, this white boy talking like he's small as shit. He talking like he's the guy. It got to be something. You know what I'm saying? Let me try it out. And I was like, look, you have nothing to lose. If you don't like it, you don't pay. So they gave me opportunities, and I made them count. And then it was like I kind of became like the exotic chick, where it was like, I got something you ain't got. I got a barber, and he's white. And they're like, what? Yeah, right. Get out of here. You know what I mean? It kind of like, from a marketing perspective, it's funny, right? Because accidentally it worked. Because I got everybody talking about it. That's all you're trying to do with marketing, right? Is start a conversation. And by me talking shit or popping shit, it started a conversation. conversation. And it spread like wildfire, and then I got a couple high-profile clients, and then it took off. And then before you know it, everybody was looking for me. And then I was hanging out. I was 21, so I was all on the college campus. Like, you thought I went there. And then, you know, it just trickled, and then all those college kids got good jobs, and now they pay me a bunch of money to do the same thing I was doing 15 years ago.
Bars. Oh,
I mean,
wait, what school was it?
Good. Huh?
What college was it?
Georgia State, downtown Atlanta, Georgia State. Yeah.
Gotta shout out to the dogs. You know, listen, because they made you rich. You feel me? I gotta go dogs because they got you the bag.
Hey man, they, you know, and it's been a thing of beauty, you know, throughout the entire journey. Because even with its challenges, you know what I mean, you gotta have the rain and the sunshine. They go together. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is.
Okay, I wasn't gonna ask this, but now I'm curious. How long, like, because he was the white barber around nothing, like mainly black folks, because you was in Atlanta, and now you got a few shops. How long did it take you to find your comfort zone?
About 6 months.
Okay.
About 6 months. The first 90 days, I was like a fish out of water. I'm talking about I would be driving places, sweating, because I'm like, how do I get back? You know what I'm saying? Like, where am I at? What side of town am I on? You know what I mean? So about 6 months, I kind of settled in and was like, all right, I got my traction. I ain't drowning no more. I can actually buy something to eat and pay all my bills on time. So about 6 months. Like I said, that first 6 months was hard. The only thing I was worried about was like, look, let me just pay. Let me eat these peanut butter and jelly and ramen noodles, because I'm not going back to Claymont, Delaware, and having people tell me I told you so. I mean, that is the realest shit, man. Sometimes it's that small, you know what I'm saying? But it's that real.
That's because Will got a lot of will, you heard me?
Sure. Hey, it's one thing my mama got right. She gave me the right name for sure.
That's a fact. So how did it transition from you're there, you're cutting, and the next thing you know, you got shops? Like, how did it open up to multiple situations?
Well, it started with one. Everything starts with one. You know what I mean? Everything starts with one. Nobody starts with 10. It starts with one. So I got fired. The owner, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was the man. Everybody was looking for me. The marketing strategy worked. And the jealousy and the envy set in, because I obviously didn't own the shop, but I was the guy. You know what I mean? And, you know, he fired me. They threw my stuff in the trash bag, called the police, had it outside. Police was like, look, you're no longer wanted here. Georgia's an at-will state. That's when I learned what that was. Because I'm like, yo, don't you just throw my shit out? Like, kick me out like that? I pay rent. And they were like, well, Georgia's an at-will state. So if a person wants to get rid of you, they can. So I was like, okay, so police there, like what I was going to do. So I just called one of my clients, had them pick me up, put my trash bag in the back of the, you know, in the trunk, and they took me home, and, you know what I mean? I had to find another shop to work at. So I went and worked at another shop, and I was like, look, man, I just need like 30 to 60 days to cut my clients on a weekly basis while I figure out my next move. I don't know if this is what I'm going to do long term, you know what I mean, as far as being at this shop, but I just need 30, 60 days. And in that meantime, I was like, yo, I'm going to go find me a shop and build my own shit. Because I never wanted somebody to have that type of control over me where they could say, you can just get out. And I was like, nah. And then I didn't like the fact that how the owner treated other barbers. Like, they were extorting them and charging them all this extra money. It wasn't really helping people. It was just kind of, get in here, get it how you live, just have my money. You know what I mean? And I was like, I want to create a business that actually serves people, not only the clients, but the barbers on my team. I can teach them how to do it, like how I did it. So it started off like that, you know what I mean? And then I worked there, got that shop full, rented out all them spaces. And each time I filled up one shop, that was my knowing and saying, okay, you got to create more opportunity for more entrepreneurs. So that's how I went to 2. And then when I filled 2 shops to 100% capacity, I was like, it's time to go for number 3.
Woo!
You know what I mean?
All right.
That's how it started.
So now and it is like the one thing I gotta highlight is very interesting. It only takes one time for you to be in that position for you to feel like never again, right? Like real talk. It only got takes for somebody to hand you them papers one good time. You be like, oh, I ain't never giving nobody this much power. You good? That's fine.
Yeah.
So how did you get from now multiple shops, right, to now wanting to open up a school? Because like now you want to teach people how to game?
Yeah. So once I got like 3 locations and stuff, and it was like, all right, cool. Do I want to just keep opening up more locations, or do I want to do something else? And it's really becoming vertically integrated. I don't know if everybody understands what vertically integrated is, but you're basically being your own pharmaceutical system and you're producing your own talent. So as I read and I started studying major companies, I started thinking about what do they do. And I was at a meeting one time. It was like a gala or something, some fundraiser. And I was talking to a lady one time, and she worked for the Atlanta Braves. And I was like, yo, you work for the Atlanta Braves. I'm like, that's a Fortune 500 company. And I was just like, the MLB, like sports run the world. I'm like, what is the number one thing they're concerned with the most? And she was like, well, that's easy. I said, well, what is it? She said, the only thing they're focused on that they spend millions of dollars on is getting the next generation introduced to the sport of baseball, because that means their future is secure. And I was like, got it. Then I started thinking back to when I opened up my first shop, the barbers I was hiring didn't know what they were doing, and it was affecting my reputation. So people were like, yo, I went to professional cuts, and the dude in the first chair was, he butchered me. I'm big on reputation. I didn't do the haircut, but somebody in my shop did. So I had to fix that. So I was like, look, man, let me teach you how to cut, because they ain't going to be saying this no more. So I started teaching them how to cut, and that's where I discovered a natural ability to teach by, once again, serving for free. You didn't pay me to teach them. I was teaching them out of necessity, discovered another gift, So then I went to barber school and got my teacher and instructor license and stuff, and I was like, one day I'll eventually, teach the people on my team, and I'll work at a school, because the school is the farm system. But if I ever want to open up a school, I need to go work at a couple so I can learn the formula, create a curriculum, get some practice, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, learn how to open up my own, and then go open up my own. That's why I always tell people, whatever you want to do, go serve in that capacity first so you can get gain. Never take a job for money, always take it for education. So I went and took a job and worked at those things in the evening time night program, taught barbers, but guess what it did? I got to learn, freshen up my own knowledge, learn how to put lesson plans together, learn how to speak in front of a room of 25 and 30 people on the regular, which helps me in my next life, which will be public speaker, motivational speaker, all that stuff. And it gave me practice, but it also gave me the keys to recruiting. So then all of the people I taught, I recruited them to my shops. So I kept my shops full, so then that's how I expanded from 1 to 2 to 3 locations. But the fact still remains, you still need to be able to recruit. I didn't like the schools I was working at. And it wasn't because they were bad people. It was they weren't as passionate about barbering as I was. Most of the schools I worked at are cosmetology with a side piece barber program. Your Paul Mitchells, your Avita, your Redkins, your hair schools, your institutes, they're all beauty-based. And, oh, yeah, the barber is over there. I'm a barber's barber. I take that personal. So I said, okay, let me build a barber school that's for barbers, no beauty. You know what I'm saying? Barbers. So it became a personal thing for me, and I was just like, and then as I was in those schools, I used to hear the frustration of the barbers. The teaching when I first got there wasn't up to par. No credits. They feel like nobody cares. They're not being heard. Poor lighting, schedules, tuition. Like, I'm not getting the training I need to be able to pay back the cost of the school when I finish. I don't feel like they're setting me up for success, and it just feels like a money grab. So I was listening, which caused the need in the marketplace for a quality barber school that can teach barbers business, because it's done really well for me. I'm sure if I shared how much money I actually made doing it, people would be like, yo, I want to do that too, because the lifestyle is so attractive. So that's what got me into owning the school, and now the school is, we'll be photo shooting it next week, and it's fly, and everybody wants to come. So
hold on. hold on. Before we get into the school itself, I gotta recap because there was gems just dropped all around. I'm gonna pick some of them up and re-give them to the people. Right? Some things that you said that are important.
Okay.
Market research, people. What he said was, and when I say market research, it started with him with him being he was at a fundraiser. I don't care if you're at a fundraiser or a gala or you happen to be at the movies. I don't care where you are. If you see somebody that's in an important field that can help you, ask them, hey, what do you worry about? What do you look for? What do you care about? That's what he did. When he started asking that, it taught him what he should think about, right? That's A. Always ask people who know what they're doing, what they care about, because then you'll know what you care about. First, B side to that. Then, once you get into it, understand whatever you're trying to learn. Anytime you have the youth coming up or you figure out your farm system, you will sustain, right? The objective is to feed yourself, right? And the best way to feed yourself is if you can feed the things that feed you. Like, this is how it works, right? So if you can rate, that's that each one teach one. It can't always be for self in those moments because, again, you don't just feed yourself. Somebody has to pay you.
One thing I always tell people, right, when I ask people, I say, well, what do you want to do, right? And they tell me things like, well, I don't really know. You know what that says to me? I'm not really listening. Because if you listen to the marketplace and you listen to the people you interact with, they'll tell you what's needed. If you know what's needed, you'll find what you need to do.
Okay, pause. You're dead right, but I have to reconstruct that for some people. Let me follow me.
Okay.
What happens is, and just as humans, you'll find things that you're good at. The hard part about finding what you're good at for a lot of people is figuring out how to be profitable at it, right? So when Fresh says listen to the market, let's go back to market research. Cool, you could be the best flipper. You could be the best person with a spatula in the world. Right? All right, what's the market asking me for? Is it asking me for calzones? Is it asking me for pizzas? Is it asking me for, it's looking at what I can flip since I'm the best flipper in the world, right? It's figuring out what you're good at and you enjoy and then aim and then finding where the market is for that. It may not be your first thought, right? There's a lot of singers and artists that don't make albums for money. There's a lot of singers and artists that do it for TV shows or do it to perform, right? Where do you want to go with it? It can't just be about enjoyment. It got to be about profit, right? That's kind of how that builds up in order to kind of create your next move and your next step and be able to take those steps. And then that still goes back into putting in the work. He worked at a barber school and taught, right? Because if you start teaching, you start learning something. By the way, as a trainer, I can tell you the quickest way to learn something is to have to teach it back. Like, that's how you know that you know what you're doing.
That's how you get it. That's how you master it. You can learn something, which is cool. But you become a master by teaching it over and over and over again. Like, that's what I'm most excited about the school is people are going to learn and they're going to be really, really dope when they leave. And I'm going to get just as dope as them by teaching it to them. And it's just going to reinforce what some of the things I already know. I'll be able to break it down in even simpler form. So the school 5 years from now versus this January is going to be 5 times better than it is in 2 weeks. Because the constant repetition and learning and evaluating experience and being self-aware and making changes internally will help me produce excellent results externally. So that's stuff that I'm looking forward to the most.
So tell me about the school. What's the school going to be like? What's it going to look like? Like, give me the vibe.
It is. It's going to be a place of inspiration. And it's going to be, it'll be a barbershop. It'll have classrooms, and it'll be a fun learning environment. But the decor and stuff is going to speak inspiration. Like, I'm going to have some prominent figures in there just because these are people that inspire me with just different things. Like people like Kobe. You know what I mean? His commitment to greatness was phenomenal to me, and it was inspiring. A person like Steve Jobs, the innovator. You know what I'm saying? Creating things that, you know what I'm saying, nobody ever thought of. That's inspiration to me. A person even being down here in Atlanta, like Martin Luther King, the freedom fighter. You know what I'm saying? That kind of wanted to bring equality to all kinds. That's an inspiration to me. So people like that will obviously be on the wall, and then there'll be words of affirmation and things like that that you read every day because what we put here means more than anything else. So it'll be a place, you know what I'm saying, of inspiration, but it'll be a place of teaching and a learning environment where we help support each other and lift each other up and not look at each other like competition and individualistic, where it's like, I got to be better than this person's got to be better than that. So I'm going to build a phenomenal culture. I've studied leadership for years, and if you want to take something to the next level, the leadership is what matters ultimately. That's why for the first year or two, I'll be the main one doing the teaching, because I want to set the culture. I want to teach my teachers in systematic ways to where we can create simple systems that anyone can learn, and we can duplicate and become like a factory that produces barber excellence time and time again.
Absolutely. All right. So, Fresh, so man, I gotta ask, with all of that, do you still cut?
Yeah. I still cut my clients, man. My clients are like family to me, you know, and a lot of them have grew with me through the years, and they're a major reason why the school even exists, because without my clientele, none of this is even possible, right? So I am always going to cut 10 to 15 to 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? Because these are some of the main pillars in this Atlanta community, and we have work to do. And a lot of us are so busy, how we meet and connect is through that barber chair. You know, so we don't, I tell people a lot of times, the barber chair is my golf course. It's the golf cart. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the major business deals and stuff are done on the golf course. But the way they work, the way I work, a day off of golf probably isn't realistic at this moment in time. Maybe when we're in our 40s, we'll probably do that. But right now, we connect and we vision build and we dream and we partner and we change communities with a 45-minute meeting every week or every other week. You know, that's how we stay connected. So I can have all the money in the world, but if I'm not connected to people who are elite, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling where I might end up. And probably lonely, because you need people in your life because they add value to your life. People make your life great or they make your life terrible.
Right.
So I like to keep good people around me. So, you know, only elite thinkers and people who are the movers and shakers are the ones I actually cut at this moment in time. But I'm not willing to let that go. Those relationships mean more to me than the money.
Facts. All right, Fresh. Listen, this has been phenomenal. I got Shane coming up next, but you got to give me your word. I got to give the world a poem. By the way, I got to drop a little mini commercial until they pay for advertisements. Listen, understand, tomorrow I'm hosting live at the Rockford Tavern. It's going down with Harvey Road. They shutting it down. It's going to be fire out there. I don't know if y'all know what Harvey Road do, but it's going to be a bomb. By the way, bong. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be hosting at the Oddity Bars, Oddly Dope, Young Sad and Mr. True Story again. It's going to be a vibe, inspirational vibe. FBA going to be on the grill. We're going to have Icebox Limited out there. Listen, that's the fact. And by the way, Fresh, thank you, because you got me doing this wild shit. This was your idea. So, well, go ahead. Give me a word.
A word? Great.
Great?
Yes.
All right. Give me 2 words.
2 words? Great.
They don't got to go together. They do not.
A great leader.
Okay. I'm thinking, yo, you know why they leave most of the time? If they told you it was the money, they typically lie. If they told you it was the hours, they still lying again. Okay, fine. I'll tell you, it's typically leadership for the win. I mean, honestly, we could walk through and look at that grin. Look at how they pat their people on the back and look how they handle that. I understand that everybody ain't the same, so everybody's claim to fame can't just be payment. But I get it. You thinking that the money is all that sits adjacent to where happiness is, but you don't understand that your happiness does not just live at where your bank account is. Let me back up a little bit. You spoke about vertical entrepreneurship. Let me break that down a little bit, because that only means that some things at the top and everything down has to work up to it. But that only works if everything down gets feeling of upliftment. See, that's what people don't get. Like, understand, I despise guys that don't allow people to rise because they look in their eyes and want to hold them down till they reach their demise. Like, how is that fly if none of us is getting money any point in time? If you're the only one at the top, then how can you select and help mix up the next cream of the crop? So you're going to need help. Watch. See, people don't understand that. So when I start talking that, they tend to stop. Those who want to lead in ways that only get them called the boss. I mean, I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I love Raw. But most of those people don't know how to lead from the front and the back at the same time. See, most of those people don't know how to move through the trenches without leaving a man's left behind. See, most of those people don't understand that even in business, there should be loyalty, but it's still business, so there shouldn't be moving too sacrificial. I'm just trying to mitigate the risk, but they got me risking me. Okay? I'm sorry, but I don't mean to talk too much, but they should pay me for this, because typically the game ain't free. But I'm trying to help them understand where they could be. See, you gave me great leadership, and I'm just trying to lead this ship as best as I can be without swaying it a bit. But those who get too self-consumed with their own ego and not the whole wind wind up sinking that ship. Excuse me, I need room to get off that Titanic. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you how we gonna manage. So understand this. I don't believe that it ever gets as good as it gets when you have great leadership. Bars.
Yeah. Bars.
So
good stuff. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
You ain't even know that was coming. That's good stuff.
You know,
Man.
I dibble and dabble. You know?
Yeah, you do.
But
you do.
And we'll talk when it's time to promote your shop. So, with that said, tell the people again when it opens, where it's at, and you know, before we get up out of here.
All right. So, Pro Fresh Barber Academy, the grand opening will be January 1st, 2023. I learned a long time ago how you start the year is what you can expect from the year. So we're going to start off just being great and changing lives. So January 1st, 3 o'clock, grand opening celebration, quick 2 hours, come through, take some pictures, you know what I mean, have a little toast with your boy, man, to a great 2023, and then go on about your day. January 3rd will be the first day of school. So first day of school, and anybody interested in barbering that's in the Atlanta marketplace, the first 10 students get $1,000 off tuition. You can literally, yeah, I'm dropping a video tomorrow that basically show you how you can go to trade school for $25 a day. You can't beat it. And the video is phenomenal. It may break the internet. We'll see. But and then you have that, and then I think that was it. Oh, you said the location. It's in North Atlanta, Brookhaven / Atlanta. It's basically like 2 miles from Peachtree Street. You know what I'm saying? It's not even far at all. It's basically considered Atlanta. And yeah, man, I'm all over the city of Atlanta, man. So it's no thing, man. If you here, you'll find me.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, Fresh, listen, we gotta do this again. We could do this all day, but we gotta do this again. Shouts out to them boys. You heard me. Y'all know where we at.
Yeah, they 10-3, man. We gotta get it done, man. We gotta beat Philly in 2 weeks, man. I can't. Yeah. That's the only game that matters to me for the rest of the year.
No, well, for the rest of this year, yeah, because I care about a couple playoff games. I care about a couple playoff games where I care about them.
I purposely said this year.
Yeah, I need that. Listen, I'm getting paid too much now. We gonna have to talk. Okay,
right. For sure, Joe. We gotta get it on, man. But go ahead, get to your next thing, bro. I'm gonna get in the crib.
Yes, sir. I'll holler at y'all. By the way, y'all give me about 5 minutes. I'm gonna be back on here with Shane and we gonna rock out. All right.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.
That's all. I'll holler.